All right, now we welcome on Bryson Bishop, internet sensation. I bet you're tired of hearing that. I don't know if you're tired of hearing that or not, but um, how we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great, man. So we'll just get right into it. I just got just a handful of questions. We'll get right into it. I know we'll just get right into the main topic here. Um, Zion, what was it like to see him again? Was that how? Talk me through that. Was that planned out, and how did that come to be? The reunion, so to speak.
Okay, yeah. So the Squadron, which is the Pelicans G League affiliate, which is in Birmingham. So obviously I go to school here at Birmingham-Southern, and my coach, I actually went out of town for the weekend, and on Friday he texts me out of the blue. He says, "Hey, we're gonna do a photo op with you and Zion," and I was like, what? Like, how did you pull that off? He's like, actually, the Squadron kind of reached out to us and they wanted you to do it, and I was like, okay, well, this is gonna be awesome, and I was looking forward to about it for about a week, and finally got to it. And it was really fun. So I mean, it was so out of the blue, but definitely like a super cool thing.
Hmm. Do you get? I know you were in eighth grade, and he was what, a junior or senior on varsity.
Yep, Junior.
Yeah, do you get sick of seeing the video sometimes? I know it went super viral when it happened, and it still is today, obviously, with you being reunited with him. But is there a part of you that kind of wishes it would stop or anything, or what are your thoughts on that?
Um, I wouldn't say that I get sick of it. I think I'm surprised that after as long as it's been that it kind of still comes up. Um, but there's been some like really good stuff that's come out of it. So I wouldn't say I'm sick of it, but I also would like to say that um, you know, life has changed a lot since then, and I've gotten a lot better, a lot, obviously a lot bigger. I'm at a whole different place in life, and um, it's cool because I still get recognized from it, but it's like, okay, well, this is who he was, and like, wow, like this is like who he's turned into, who he is, and how he can play, and yeah, it's opened up a lot of cool doors though too. So I wouldn't say I'm sick of it.
Okay. Do you do your competitors now at the level you're at now, do they recognize you, and are they trash talking you on the court, like saying this is the kid who basically Zion, or shut down Zion? And you didn't shut him down or anything, but like, what are they
Yeah.
saying to you on the court?
So I mean, my teammates, the first time I ever come on visit, they're the ones who recognize me, and our first scrimmage, I think we're gonna do one Friday or Saturday, and I know we're doing one Sunday, but I haven't really gotten to play against anybody else in the league or anybody else except for my teammates. So as far as like trash talking stuff has gone, like we haven't gotten the games or anything.
Gotcha. um what I know one of my colleagues talked to you, like maybe your junior year of high school, and I think you said in that story you could maybe get a bucket or two on him. Do you still feel like you could get a bucket on him?
For sure. I'm never gonna say like I'm not gonna be able to score on somebody or something. So for sure, like I mean I can hit a jump shot. I don't know about going to the paint, but yeah, for sure.
Okay. um I want to know a little bit more about your passion for basketball and how that came to be. So growing up, what kind of sparked your interest in basketball?
So growing up I was into every sport. Like I played football, travel soccer. I was really good at soccer. I thought about sticking with that for a while, but basketball I was always really good at it when I was little. And I kind of taught myself how to shoot and really natural at it. And so I was one of those kids who played everything, but for whatever reason, I don't know, basketball just kind of drew me in like no other sport did. And so I had a passion for it like I didn't have for any other sport. And so when it came to about going into my freshman year, I'm like, okay, well, I was already serious about it, but I'm like, I'm gonna put all my time towards this and not just kind of break it up into different seasons with different sports. Yeah, I don't know. I think just the way the game is played and it's looked at as like an art. And so is soccer. Like soccer for people, a lot of people don't even like soccer, but I do. I think it's like it's such an art form. But I see the same way with basketball. Like I think of Kyrie, like watching Kyrie play is like watching art, man. Like he's so smooth and so stuff like that. It kind of drew me in, and being able to shoot the ball the way I could. That's what kind of made me want to play.
Is that kind of the mentality you take onto to the court? I mean, you're like, are you like Picasso? Like, okay, I'm gonna go paint this masterpiece when you hit the court, or what's your mentality when you hit the court?
My mentality is just take whatever the game gives me. Because a lot of times when I was younger, I would go into the game saying like, oh, I wanna do this, get this, make this play, and then I would end up playing kind of bad because I was forcing things. So that's another thing I like about basketball is once you get into the game and you let the game kind of like move you, I don't know. Like, I think it's like a beautiful thing if you just like play the game the way it comes to you and not kind of like force things or predetermined things that are to come. Like, just play.
Yeah, that's like any sport too. You just got to slow down and let it come to you.
Yeah.
Like quarterbacks talk about all the time. Like the game is slowing down for him. That's what I think everyone talks about that. Um, do you have a pro that you kind of model your game after? Because I think JJ Redick mentioned you when that clip went viral. I think you've talked about it plenty of times too. Like JJ Redick, having him mention you in the like watching that video, having him talk about you in the video was kind of special to you. So is he kind of that guy you modeled your game after? Or another one, another pro.
Um, yeah, I say I've always looked at but like I said, the way I was able to shoot the ball, I've always looked at film from shooters. So obviously my number one is, I love Steph. I love watching Steph play. So now that I've gone to college, I'm playing the two here instead of the one. I've always played the point, but I'm playing shooting guard here, and so I've started watching a lot more film on just shooting guards. So I watch a lot of JJ for sure. Actually some Luke Kennard. I like watching him, and not only him, but I love watching Duncan too. The way he gets into a shot really fast. Like I watched a lot of film on just way to get into my footwork. I would say Jordan Poole, but Jordan Poole's kind of more of a one, just the way he moves. So I've just been watching like the way they move off the ball and their feet. And so any high level shooter like that was, kind of my idol growing up. And so especially JJ and even Duncan and Steph. So
Doesn't Duncan have is that Duncan Robinson? Doesn't he have his own podcast now where he talks about like all the stuff he's experienced as a because he wasn't that highly of a recruited guy, right?
yeah, he does have his own podcast. I listened to it too. I can't remember the name of it,
I
but
yeah, I can't remember the name of it either. I just know he has it with his one of his college buddies, if I remember
I think
correctly.
it's called The Long Shot.
Okay, okay, sounds good. Um, do you feel like you're still trying to prove yourself as a player? Because I know you're Charles Southern, which I believe is D1 now, but or at the D1 level, but now you're at Birmingham Southern.
Mhm.
Do you feel like you're still trying to prove yourself to others, or do you feel like you can do more on the court, or do you feel like you just still trying to prove to yourself that you can, at the high level, you can play basketball at a high level?
Yeah. You know, whenever I get into the mentality of trying to prove myself, I look at that as being like very having like a huge ego. Whenever like I don't know, just whenever I think of like trying to prove myself or do this or do that, like to make myself, look better and stuff. I try to stay away from that as much as possible just because I think that can take you to a place that's not very healthy. But of course, like I'm always trying to get better and um whenever you come into a new school, like you do have to show people that you can play and that you've earned your spot and that people have to respect you. And so I look at it as just like really just pushing myself, not really like looking for the attention of others, but just to be better for myself, and that way, like I can show people I can play.
I was gonna ask you this: what made Birmingham Southern your go-to choice to transfer to?
Two things. First off, their offense is very fast paced. They shoot a lot of threes. So very much my style. And then two, I got to come on a visit, and this was the first visit I ever got to stay like a whole weekend, so Friday through Sunday. And so that helped me learn a lot that like the guys here are guys like I wanted to be around and play with and play for. And so I'd say like yeah, one the system, but two like the guys that I get to play with, like I love them and everything. And so I could tell that from my visit.
Gotcha. Um, for you, what do you think the most important thing you've learned as an athlete is?
100%. Don't make your life about sports. Don't make sports your personality. So for a long time growing up, I did that, and so it'd be peaks and valleys, and a lot of times it'd be a lot more a lot more valleys and peaks. And so for me personally, my relationship with Jesus is the most important thing to me. And so that's what I would tell anybody else, is because if you just put your life into sports and make that your personality, you're gonna have really good days, but you're gonna have a lot of really bad days. So that's what I've learned most.
Gotcha. What are you majoring in at Birmingham-Southern?
Um, so I'm gonna major in film and media studies, which is basically like it's our communication studies. Our credits are kind of weird and we take some different classes, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna major in.
Gotcha. What's your, I know we mentioned mentality a little bit ago, but just what for this season, what's your specific mentality and what are you looking forward to the most this season?
So first day since I got on campus, all we've been talking about is we have a really, really talented group of guys, which we do. Like our team is so deep, and so we're really focused on winning the conference this year. That is like my biggest goal, and a personal goal is just I want to go out and win this year, and then however long I'm here for, win it every year. And so that's the main goal, is winning. And Birmingham Southern has a rich tradition of winning a whole lot of games. We've kind of lagged in that recently, and so this year I think we're all coming in with like we just want to win. And we got the guys to do it for sure.
How does a team build chemistry? I know I hear you hear Kobe, you hear Paul Pierce, you hear all these guys, you hear LeBron talking about building team chemistry, and whenever a team wins a championship in a year, they talk about how everyone came together, bought in. I feel like is the big thing. Everyone says that we bought in, they bought in, but how do you feel like this team is buying in to the culture? Do you feel like that's happening? What's one thing or a handful of things that this team can do to buy in or gel together better?
So I definitely feel that it's happening. And most of that comes from off the court. Of course, like as athletes, you spend a whole lot of time together, and so I think that in and of itself is like just taking that time and not only spending it on the basketball court, but the time you have off. Like I think some of the best times I've had so far is in the calf. Like we're just sitting there laughing, hanging out, and stuff like that. But I mean, I have my roommates that play with me as well, so I spend a lot of time with them. Um, but I think it's just like the relationships you build off the basketball court impact it on the basketball court. Because like practices, we'll go in there and like there's no friends like in practice. Like we've had some fights and stuff like that, which is kind of like nothing bad, like no punches or anything, but like competitiveness. So like I think what's important to build a team is like you had that time to be competitive, but then you had this time to be like, all right, like we're brothers and like we got each other's back. And so I mean, it's really like a family environment. If you have a brother, you fight him a lot, but at the same time, like you love him. So, um, it's just like a deep bond.
Gotcha. I got one last question for you. I asked every athlete or coach or whoever I talk to, I ask them about their specific sport. I ask them what their sport means to them, because I feel like every athlete, coach, or whoever's competed in athletics has a different thought about what sport they competed in and what it's meant to them. I just want to know what basketball has meant to you over these years, and what do you think it's going to be. Put yourself 10 years, 5 years down the road. What do you think basketball is gonna, mean to you?
Yeah. So, for me, I mean, basketball's been a huge part of my life just because, I mean, it was something I was always really good at, but I was also very passionate about it. I also worked very hard at it. And, um, for me, basketball has opened a lot of doors that I don't think would have been opened if I didn't play. Um, And so, yeah, like the relationships I've grown with different people and the places I've got to go and the things I've got to do, like even this island thing, like, if I never played high school basketball or any of that stuff, like that wouldn't have never happened. Um, and so like, I think the most exciting part is like, it's just funny to me how a sport that we as like humans we put so much like attention on and we put this huge price on it can just take you all these places. Like at the end of the day, it's just shooting a basketball in a hoop, you know what I'm saying? But like the doors it opens is like so crazy to me, and how the like Lord works through it. So my goal is I want to play professionally somewhere. So I want to go overseas, whatever that looks like. And like who knows? Like it's just opened so many doors. So that's what I'd have to say.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, Bryson, I appreciate you taking time out your day to talk to me. I know busy day, busy getting ready for getting ready for this season. So I appreciate you talking with me.
No, yeah, thank you for having me for sure.
All right, there he is, Bryson Bishop, internet sensation. Birmingham-Southern. When do you guys tip off? First game.
I think our first game is November 5th, and I think we play Talladega College. I don't know if it's an exhibition or a real game, but November 5th, so coming up.
All right, November 5th. Check them out. I don't know if it's gonna be live stream, but head to Birmingham-Southern website definitely to check them out. Definitely
Yeah.
on there for sure. Okay, thanks, Bryson.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out our other videos and don't forget to smack that subscribe button down below while you're at it. Also, for more great and original content, head right over to bvmsports.com.